So my name is Mustafa Ahmed Al-Husseini. I am civil engineer by profession. I work in Egypt. I'm from Egypt, and I work in Egypt 2 years. Then I traveled to Kuwait. I work in Kuwait in a steel structure company. And in the same company, after 4 years, I transferred to facade. So I work in facade also. Then 10 years ago, I joined Fischer. And in Fischer, I became a specialist in fixing and almost fixing anything. Fixing of anchors, fixing MEB, solars, anything which is required of fixing. I got good experience on that. And I have this type of external certification. If in case you are interested, I can share with you at any point of time. First, the questions which come to our mind. When we say Fischer, which Fischer or what is Fischer FZE? And why we are calling it Fischer FZE? And how many countries we are supporting? Fischer is a German company, and our headquarters in Tumlingen in Germany. So this is our mother company, somewhere here in Germany. From this headquarters, we have our subsidiary in UAE. And this subsidiary supporting all these countries. So we are supporting almost 10 countries: Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, UAE, Pakistan, Oman, and we are supporting Ethiopia, Kenya, and Tanzania. So this is the part from Africa we are supporting. Of course, if there is any other country required, there is another subsidiary which will be going to support. But this is our region. Here are some facts about Fischer. The first fact is that Fischer is now 73 years old, so it's a very young and productive company. And we have not only one factory, we have 10 factories worldwide. And these factories are in Germany, Brazil, Argentina, Czech Republic. In Europe, there is 4 factories. Also, we have factory in China. We have factories almost in the main big manufacturing facility in the world. Fischer has more than 4,000 global employees, and we are manufacturing daily more than 30,000 items. Our turnover last year crossed 850 billion euro. And Fischer Africa started in 2015. So this is a small facts about Fischer. We have a lot of international references. Fischer work in a lot of projects in the world, but because we are supporting Middle East, I am focusing in Middle East. So some of the main projects, of course, Burj Khalifa, everyone know. Also, we sold in Dubai Metro almost the all MEB support for Dubai Metro. And also for Haram, we have sold heavily for different applications in this project. And this project is still running till we don't know, only God knows. And Sarati Center in Kenya, Lucky Turkana for wind power generation. So all these projects, also there's some projects in Kenya. Of course, there is more and more projects we did. This is just part. We have a complete list of our references, which is crossing 1,000 projects from 2006 till now. When we speak about Fischer, our main focus is not drill bit, is not drill machines, is not cutting tools. Our main focus is fixing. So when we say fischer, that means fischer has a solution or has a fixing solution for any fixing you have in your mind. We have a fixing, anchor fixing, chemical fixing for heavy duty. We have mechanical fixing, insulation fixing for facades, light fixing for your home, for your light applications, foams and sealants for doors and fixing of doors. We have also fire stop, because fixing and safety is our goal. So fire stop is the main safety topic. So Fischer also is a specialist in fire stop material. And we have in this presentation some few slides about fire stop. Also cavity fixing. Cavity means when you have a hollow block or hollow wall, how you can fix anchors in hollow wall. There's also questions which come to the mind. Fischer also has a solution for this. Also for frame fixing, any type of heavy frames, which nylons and light fixing is not working, we have a solution for that. And what about facades? We have also solution. And main aspects, which is our focus today, MEB fixing. And from MEB, we are going to focus today on only electrical fixing. Also, we have a shooting guns and shooting powder. I am not 100% sure. In Kenya, shooting powder is allowed, but in some country, shooting powder is allowed. In some country, is not allowed. Also, we have screws. So in case of fixing on wood. So this is part of the fixing. It's not only limited to that. Any fixing problem which can come to your mind, you can contact us. We can find a solution. When we come to electrical services, here in UAE and in Gulf country, there is one, I don't say standard, regulation, I can say regulation or practice, which is famous for fixing of cable trays, cable ladders, primary support. And this one called PEMA, P-E-A-M-A. As I told you, it's not standard, means it's not 100% mandatory that you have to use it. But in several projects in the specification, it is somewhere mentioned that it's recommended to follow the recommendation of PEMA. So my question to you, I would like to see in the chat box, have you heard before about PEMA, or have you used it in your projects before? Or it was required from your clients or from your consultant that you have to follow the regulation of PEMA before? Let me look now to your chat box to see the reply. If yes, you can just mention your experience. If no, you can also type no, that you did not get these requirements before. So Mr. Jack, no. Mr. Mahir, no. Mr. Rajiv, okay. So I can see almost all the reply of you that you did not get this before. I know why you did not get, because as I told you, it's not standard. It's something like common accepted regulation. So some people prefer to use it, some people no. But some consultants here are prefer to use it. Yes, Mr. Khalid Nasor, he says some consultants are aware of it. Yes, but some consultants just use it because it's better than nothing. So you can have some minimum limit of standard. So you can ensure some standard level of your projects. So let us go a little bit. What is that? This is called Best Practice Guide to Cable Ladders and Cable Tray System, which is focused more in channel support system. And this is like focus how to use it, what is the size of the channels, how should be the slots, and all of that. One of the main applications which you can see of electrical support, of course, is the bus bars. Bus bar usually is heavy, It has a small size, and it can be more than one bus bar in one area. And you can see in this picture like a simple installation of bus bar, channels, rods. Very simple. But in the other picture here, this is vertical riser. So here, the bus bar is going from down to top, and it has to be supported. So this is some example how it can be supported. So you have here one main channel here, and you have here also another channel, and this is like a main beams. And then you have a secondary beams for each bus bar, one before and one after. And the bus bar will be supported in the channel like this. So the bus bar, riser, the bus bar can go in this way. This is the most common used way in Middle East. And then this will be anchored somehow to concrete. And we will come to know in the few slides how we can go through all this, what is the required for design. So this is bus bar. Second type of application, cable ladders. And when it comes to cable ladders, it comes to our mind like big size of cable tray, but heavy. So it is reinforced somehow. And it can have several layers. That's why they need to have ladders. So we can have here different type of loads on the cable ladders, and it's usually heavy loads, usually. And it can be also used for high voltage cables. And after that, cable tray, which is a standard and common used in all the sites. And a lot of the cable tray manufacturers, they also manufacture supports. But unfortunately, they are not checking is the support is safe or no. They just work by the experience. For cable tray 600, you have to use a spacing of 2 meters and use a channel of 40 or 4 centimeter by 4 centimeter. Just complete experience, which is not 100% correct in all the times, because it can vary based on a lot of conditions, which we are going to explain later on now. So it's not just fixing a cable tray. So here you can see channels, threaded rod, and also anchor bolt. So we have here 3 components. Cable trunking, which is like a small it's also can be small or big, but it's mainly closed box which have a lot of cables inside. So it will be dense of cable. So it will be heavy loads. So usually it is concentrated loads. So this also has to be taken care when we are designing the system. So you can see here the anchors, rods, and the channels. Control panels, it can be floor mounted, means the support can be from the ground like this. In case we have light panels, it also can be supported on the wall. Some people will ask, okay, why I don't support the panel directly on the wall with anchors? Why I have to put this channels behind? Any idea? Why I have to make this system? It's a little bit more, if it will be cheaper if I just anchor the panel directly to the wall. Distributed load, okay, this is one point. What else? Okay. Allow cable direction from trays and trunking, okay. There is also other reason. Entry of cable, correct, because you can see here the trunking on the top. So the cable is coming from the back side, or there is gap for the cable tray, which is coming down. This is correct. Also, in case this is all what you're saying is correct. Also, there is some architectural requirements. So in case you need to make, in case you need to make leveling for the final finish, because this will be covered later on. You can also use it. When we look deeply to the component which is used in electrical, we say it is very simple. It's only 3 components. Component number 1, which is anchor. Component number 2, which is rod. Component number 3, which is the frame or the channels. Why we have to make it more complicated? What is the reason to go beyond the standards, which is very easy for people to understand and very easy for people to fix? As I told you, unfortunately, some contractors and some suppliers are only working based on the experience. But when you come deep on the topics, there is so many factors which are not considered, especially when we are speaking about high level of standard projects like metro, like transportation system, tunnels, or these types of projects. Let us see. Let us take one by one. Let us take about first one, anchor part. When we are speaking about anchors, how we can select it? We have to know first what is our base material. So, in your sites or in your experience, what can be the type of base material you have faced before? For example, I can answer the easiest one, concrete. Okay, I said before, Mr. Jack. He was typing, I know. Block wall, okay. What else? Steel structure. Yes. That is true. So we can have concrete. We can have hollow concrete, which is called hollow blocks or hollow core slabs, sorry. We can have also, if in case we are fixing in the wall, we can have masonry, and we can have steel structure. Any different types of base material is affecting the choice of the fixing type. So, for example, if we are going to use normal anchor bolt in hollow core slabs, we can have a big problem because it is not designed, this anchor bolt is not designed to work in hollow core slabs. And in hollow core slabs, if you focus here, there is here some wires. This is a pre-tension wires. So we have hollow part and the pre-tension wire part. We are not allowed to drill in this part. Because if by mistake, the labor who is doing drilling hit the wire, he can make a collapse for the full slab from a structure point of view. So usually, consultant and the structure engineers and also the manufacturer of the hollow core slab will not allow anyone to fix here. So what is left only this part, which is the hollow part. I have seen in some sites, especially when they have several layers of cable trays, heavy loads, they make coring for the full slabs, and they do fixation from the top. This is also okay, but this is very expensive solution. What Fischer offer you? Fischer have a special solution for hollow core slabs, which is called FHY anchor, hollow ceiling anchors. And this anchor has got German approval, and it has got, we have a fire test 120 minutes. And also, recently, we have a seismic approval. This is the only seismic approved hollow core slab anchor in the full world. No competitor yet was able to do it. So this is one of our premium anchors in hollow slabs. Not only hollow slabs, it can work in any hollow material as well. So even it can work in hollow blocks, but our test, our everything is done for hollow core slabs. When we are speaking about concrete, then the first thing which comes to our mind is the drop-in anchors. And when it comes to drop-in anchors, there is always a definition in concrete. Is the concrete is cracked concrete or it is non-cracked concrete? When we speak about cracked concrete, 90% of the concrete, unfortunately, is cracked. And if it is not cracked now, it will be cracked in the future. That's why we have to put rebars in the concrete. Rebars is limiting the cracks in the concrete to 0.3 mm. Okay. You just imagine with me, this anchor, drop-in anchor, if the outer diameter is 10 mm or 12 mm, you are drilling exactly the same diameter, 12 mm. Then we are installing the anchor. If you have a cracks comes on the concrete near to the anchor, and the hole become not 12 mm, become 12.3 mm. The anchor outer diameter did not change. It is still 12 mm. So what will happen? Simply the anchor can fail. That's why we have to be 100% sure we are installing anchors in hollow ceiling in concrete, that it should have approval for cracked concrete. And we have in Fischer EA2 anchor bar, and it has got approval for cracked concrete. It can also be used in non-cracked. Any anchor which can be used in cracked concrete, it is easily can be used also in non-cracked concrete without asking this information. Also, it has got fire approval 120 minutes. Now, also sometimes people are using wedge anchor. In some projects, you will find in the specification, only wedge anchor has to be used. Why sometimes consultants ask for wedge anchor? Actually, wedge anchor is more safe, but it is very difficult actually to install it with a threaded rod. You need to have some couplers or some bracket or something. But also wedge anchor is approved for seismic load, while drop-in anchor cannot be approved for seismic force. Seismic, I mean earthquake force. And we will come to see this in the second slides. Second type of fixing, when we have no slab at all, means we don't have concrete, we don't have a hollow concrete, we have a steel structure. When we have the steel structure, always some contractors will have a big problem, because there will be a fight between the civil contractor or the steel structure contractor and the MAB contractor, who is going to give this support. MAB contractor think that this has to be provided by the civil contractor. Civil contractor think he only has to provide the I-beams and the main structure, and he don't care how you are going to fix your MAB system. And that's why this conflict is going on. So Fischer have a good solution for this, which is type of clamps which can be used with our channel system, easy to use and no need for welding, just clamping to the main structure. And what is the solution we have? We have mainly two types of solution. One, I call it light duty, and one is heavy duty. This light duty called TKL, so it can be clamped on like C shape on the I-beam like this, and it can take maximum load up to 350 kg per fixing point. Second solution is called TKR, beam clamp. You have to use a couple of them, means one this side and one in the other side. And you have to use a secondary steel structure like C channels to support. This can take up to 140 kg per fixing point. So this can work in heavy duty application, also can work when the systems are not 100% under the frame, in the middle. So we have to create a secondary steel structure, and we have to take support from it. And here you can see example for a project which is fixed on heavy steel structure by our clamp, TKR. So the fixation will be in the steel structures with these heavy systems. So this comes from anchor point of view. Now, when we come to second part which you have seen it is the rod. This rod is affected based on the type of support. Not always we must have rod. The most common used type for MEP is suspended, okay, because it's just suspended from the top, from the ceiling, with rod. But it is not limited to that. It can be also suspended, but not with threaded rod. It can be suspended with the channels. Now, I ask you one question here before I go ahead. We have question mark here, means I have to ask you your questions. Why we need to use a channel and not threaded rod for this type of application? So here we are using channels, or we are using rigid system. We are not using threaded rod, same like before, like this. So what is the reason? Why we did not use just a simple rod? What do you think? Weight, correct. It can be the weight. Other reason? Seismic, correct. High loads, correct. Very good. I am getting very good answers from all of you. I think all of you are aware about this concept. Also, there is one thing I am missing. I am waiting. Any other things? Multiple cable tray. Yes, right. Actually, it's a very great answer from you, but for others who don't know, I would like to explain it. First of all, yes, we can use threaded rod, but you just imagine if we have here a threaded rod, and we have here 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layer, 4 layer of cable trays, plus other layers of other surfaces. And this layer are all coordinated together. You just imagine, after fixing maybe one zone, consultant found one comment, or there was one missing problem in the coordination. What is the hell of work has to be done for this? We have to remove all the layers from the rod, and we have to modify and again keep it back. While in this system, you just have to remove one nut. If in case we have to make it this one little bit 10 centimeter up or down, we have to remove one nut from here, make it up or down, fix it again, without influence any of the other system. This is number one. And that's why the system has to be bolted, not welded. Number two, some of you said seismic, which is absolutely 100% correct. When we have horizontal force like this, the system will start shaking. If it is a threaded rod, it will work like it will sway in this direction. So what will happen? We have two options. Either we put a bracing with wire, or either we put a rigid system. But when we have a very high drop like this, almost 4 meters drop from the top, from the ceiling, it's not recommended at all. You can put bracing, because you will not have area surrounding to keep that bracing, because the bracing angle must be between 30 and 60 degrees. You cannot go less than 30 degrees, and you cannot go more than 60 degrees. So this is number two. So seismic loads sometimes forcing us to go to a rigid system. Also loads. There is one study done on this system, normal standard system in front of you, and this study has been done in Germany. So after they finish the project, they came and make a study on the anchors. How it is opened inside. Means, is the anchor really take the design load or no? They found that almost more than 70% of the installed anchor in the site, labor did not put the strong effort to open the anchor correctly, which means the anchors, if it is designed to take, for example, 200 kg or 100 kg, it won't take it. It will reach only 50 or 60 kg. And only because of the main safety factors in the loads and on the anchor itself, that's why it's not falling down. So when we have a very high loads like this, we should not take the risk of putting all these layers, all this load in one anchor. And you just imagine, if one service only fell down, it will work as a domino. All the MEB service will fall down. And it is much, much more expensive to repair than to just invest on this system. So in this case, contractors prefer to go to wedge anchors, means bolt anchor, which can easily installed in the concrete and be more safe in these high loads. So thank you for your answers. Second type, which can be wall-mounted supports. So when we have a very high drop from the ceiling, we can use the wall for fixing. And when it comes to the wall, usually it comes to either block wall or concrete wall. Concrete wall, we can use anchors. And block wall, we can use different type of anchors, which can work in blocks or chemical anchors. Second point, when we speak about cantilevers, we can easily make a brackets and any customized length of channels to make the certain span what we need. So we can have this distance L customized as per your requirement. So you don't have to make one welded cantilever here and get and installed. And every time you have to check the size, order a new size. And if you have a problem or wrong size, you have to again go to your factory and ask him to modify. In Fischer, we don't have this concept. In Fischer, we have a channels which comes in 3 meter or 6 meter. You can just order it. And this is small brackets. So you can just cut on site as per your requirement and bolt it, and that's it. Finish. If we have heavy loads, we can use bracing. So this can increase our capacity of the cantilever. Third system, which is called floor mounting system. So of course, in floor mounting system, it can be based on the height, based on span, based on is there any horizontal force or no. We can do the design for these channels, for the vertical channel and horizontal channels. So you can see this is, sorry, this is not example of cable tray or something related to electrical, but the support is the main concept. It is exactly the main concept. We can just change the pipe with the cable tray. So you can see how heavy is the pipe on one channels, and it can support it. So the idea of here, the same fisher profiles can be cut as per the length you need in the site, and it can be easily supported with just bolts and nuts and anchored to the ground, and that's it. No need to make any welding in the site. No need to make any painting because it's already pre-galvanized system. No need to make any manufacturing. Only cut, bolt, finish. So what are the components of Fischer MEB system? So we are calling it MEB system or semantic system because this system not only for use for electrical service, but it can be used for electrical, plumbing, HVAC, also for firefighting, because on our system we have approval for fire, We have tests for fire. We have also tests for seismic. We have our engineers which can make a professional design for you. And we can make a lovely drawing like this one with the complete details for your team and for your project. So the system is combined of channels, galvanized channels. So it have from one side slot and from one side open. So it is called open channels. So also we have the full accessories. So this is all called the accessories, which is like saddles, angles, which can be easily bolted together to make any system you need. It's like a toy. You cut the channel and you make the channel as per your requirement based on which accessories you need. Also, in some cases, we have also welded cantilever. So in case you have a specific length and you are 100% sure that this length you will be using it for the full project, so you can say, okay, I have only length of 400 millimeter. I need 1,000 pieces out of that. So we can give you the welded cantilever based on your size. So you don't have to make even bolting and all this inside. So we can also save your time. Also, we have the channels nut, which can make the connections between the channel and the accessories. So this is a full range of the main range, sorry, of the MEB support systems. Okay, so why we have to use Fischer semantic system and not Jakawali support? Am I pronouncing correct? Jakawali in Kenyan language. Joakali. I hope I can speak Kenyan. So there's different reasons. In Fischer system, it is very fast to install. It is, you can save 40% or more from the time. You don't have to make any welding on the site, so you are also saving time on delivery, transportation, manpower. Also, you are saving on quality check of welding, and you don't have to make any drilling on the channels. It is very slotted, so you can just fix the bolt on the correct holes. It is easy to fix and easy to adjust and modify later on. As I explained to you, in case you have any consultant which have any modification, you can easily modify your supports just by remove one nut, up and down, and again fix it. We have a large number of accessories, so we can fit any fixing or any types of fixing you are looking for. We have different sizes. So we have from light duty, medium duty, heavy duty, based on your loads. So we can save from design point of view. And our design is ready galvanized, and we also hot dip galvanized. So we don't have to spend time and money again on doing painting or galvanizing. We don't have only heavy fixing, but we have also fixing, for example, for cables. I think all of you know this type of clip, which is used for fixing cable. So Fischer have already this clip. It's called NS and MNS clip. So it's just like a nail with a clip. And we have this innovative product, which is a clip, but without any bolt. So how it is used, you just have to drill hole, put cable inside. It can be one cable, two cables, three cable. Push it inside the hole, and that's it. Very fast. So this is called Fischer Fix Plus Clip, LS, and we have several versions of this. Also, we have this cable clasp. So this one, the advantage of this, that at any point of time, you can put your cable inside, and you can take it again outside. So it is just installed easily like this. Then after installation, it will look like this. Then you can put the cable inside, and for maintenance, you can take the cable outside and again keep it inside, and it can take as many number of cables you want. So you don't have to remove the fixing. This fixing will be always there, only the cable will go in or out based on your requirement. So this is very good for networking cables which required like monthly or maybe quarter a year or every year some maintenance for the cable. Also, we have conduit fixing several types. So from steel or direct on the concrete. So if you have a pipes which some cables are going inside, we have also the suitable fixing for that. Finally, for electrical, we have also the steel fixing LBV. So it can be cut and you can just deform around the cable like that. I still have some slides for the presentations. It can take again another more minutes. So if you allow me, I can go in, or we can take questions now. So I am waiting for your reply on the chat box. I still have to speak about solar fixing and fire stop, and it will take only 10 minutes. So are you allowing me to continue? Okay. Yes, very good. So as I told you, this part is related to electrical, but in Fischer, we are not only limited to that. So we have also a complete mounting system for solar panels. I am not going to speak in details about all solar fixing what we have, but I'm giving you idea with the basics of fixing what we have in Fischer and solar. So in future, if you have any requirement for solar, we can have a detailed discussion for that. So we have aluminum frames, which can be deformed with the angle you need, because of course in solar, based on the area, we need various types of angles. And based on your angle, we can, based on your requirement, we can make the frame with you with the required angle, ready frame. And this frame can be fixed like that, means directly on the flat roof, or also can be fixed directly on the ground. And we don't have only systems limited to flat roof and the ground. We have only systems for even every types of roof. I'm just giving you idea that we have something called solar fixing. So in case you feel that you have a requirement for solar fixing for your project, we will need to know some information from you. We have a checklist for that I can share with you. And like we will need to know what is the size of the panel, what is the type of the roof you have, what is the wind load you have in your area. And based on that, we can make the design for you. So we have light duty, we have medium duty, we have also premium duty. And based on the spacing, based on the type of roof, we can recommend different type of accessories as per fitting your requirements. Now, when we speak about when we speak about fire stop, after we fix our cable trays, after we fix our duct and cable trunking and all our electrical application, and we are happy, but the civil contractor will not be happy, because what happened? You make some through penetration. We called it as a through penetration on the wall. So when we have this through penetration, they will ask, this area was a fire zone area. Means if the fire happened in this part, it should not go to the second part. But unfortunately, because we already break here. So when we have a fire in this area, the fire will go from the hole to the second part. So usually for through penetration, there is a systems which can be used to block the fire and smoke to go from one zone, which is this zone, for example, to the second zone. So we have to fill this gap with this type of fire sealants. We have a solution for all type of MAB, but I'm going to focus today for electricals. So we'll focus, for example, for cables, cable tray and cables. So usually when we have electricals, the problem for cable trays that it is not always percent or 100% full. It has some gap on it. So whatever system we are using, it has to fill the gap. And when the cable itself burn, because the cable always has a plastic around, when the cable itself burn, the material or the sealants has to expand and to close that gap. So it should not, the fire should not go even after the cable insulation melt during to the high temperature. So we have some solution for that. We have a solution called FIAM US and UFS, and they have like UL approval and also European approval. So what will happen in this application? When the fire starts, this part will prevent smoke and fire to go from one zone to the other zone. Also, when the plastic or the around the cable melt, it will expand and close the gap immediately. So it will ensure that even after the melting of the plastic, smoke will not go to the other zone. And sometimes, when we have a lot of cables like this, we need to put some material which is easily expandable and easily removable for maintenance, especially for networking cables. So we have this type of brick where you can fix here the bricks, and when the fire happens, this will melt together and close the gap. And if there is no fire and we need to remove it to make maintenance, we can easily remove and maintain the gaps. I'm sure I see some questions in the chat box. It's just 2 or 3 slides, and I will answer all your questions. Also, we can have board. So if we have a very large opening like this, so of course we cannot fill all this with sealant. So we can have a board made from rock wool, and we can fix the board over there, and then we paint the board with this paint, so it works as a fire stop paint. Also, if we have a riser, so we can use compound, because this compound has a strong capacity that it can have some loads. It is load-bearing grout. So this compound can be used also in this type of risers. In case we need to make some maintenance, we can use fischer below, which you can just put it like a below above each other's, and you can easily remove it at any point of time for repairing or for maintenance. And as I told you, we have in our system, we have UL, and we have also European approval. I am giving you a very quick overview about fire stop. If you are interested in fire stop, we have 1 hour presentation and training only for fire stop, CBD certified. Eric will have a copy from the scheduled time of fire stop presentation. You can ask him for register in that one, and then you can get also certification from CBD. Finally, why we are using Fischer? Because we are providing you with highest level of safety. We have a professional technical team. We have more than 17 engineers in the region are ready to support you with calculations, drawing, or whatever you need in your project. We have high quality product. all of our products, we are doing quality check. We are doing site test and site demonstration, and we share our knowledge with you from a lot of trainings, a lot of webinars we are doing, and also our goal is your satisfactions. So we always ask you to give us your feedback, and from your feedback, we upgrade ourselves to be able to meet with your requirements. So we have to make you satisfied. So you just relax with us. If you trust us, you can know this wire is fixed by Fischer. You can sit on this wire and relax. Don't worry, it won't break.